guys, I'm here with Brendan, one of the co-owners and organisers of this event. Brendan, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Hello again. I'm back.
Brendan is the amazing guy in Canberra. He picked up Dee's comics after Dee retired, as far as I know, and did a wonderful job with it. And you've moved on to greater things. Look at this.
Collectiverse is Dan and I working together again. So we put on the Geek Market shows here in Canberra, and this is our new show. And we're both collectors at heart, so we wanted to actually put on a show where like collecting was the focus.
Yeah.
Because Geek Markets is kind of about everything pop culture and just a pure celebration of fandom. We wanted this to be a celebration of like collecting and you know the part of the fandom that we in particular are really into ourselves, but also this is kind of just a big elaborate ruse for us to improve our collections. So yeah, we've just put on a giant show so we can build our own comic and card collections, really.
That's excellent. Yeah. That is great motivation.
Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Now I noticed we're out here on the UC campus. I've never actually been out here before.
Yeah.
What's the change about leaving Epic?
Well, Epic was just too big for this event, and they already had bookings this weekend. But with this being a bit more of a niche retail show, we didn't need a space quite as big as Epic, but also trading is a big part of Collectiverse. So, you know, it's about buying, selling and trading, and trading atmosphere isn't quite as good when you're in a really big room with a really high ceiling. And when you're trading, you want to be close to the person you're trading with. You want to be able to inspect the cards. So yeah, our idea was to move to a slightly smaller venue and really cram it in and get that atmosphere and get that feel like you're in that old style trading hall, like an old style, you know, kind of like market or like a barter market, so to speak. Yeah, and just create that atmosphere. And I think we've kind of nailed it with this one. Yeah,
mate, you've provided an excellent segue onto the big thing that I saw about this today. Was you're doing a trading promotion. What is that?
Oh, okay. So I've issued a trade-up challenge. So far, we've only had a few takers, but essentially when you arrive, if you come to Dee's and you show us what you brought to trade, and then on your way out, after you've been in, you've wheeled and dealed, you've sweet-talked, you've used your sensuality. If you show us on the way out that what you've traded up to, we'll give you an extra prize. So I've got a bunch of comic prizes and some little figures and stuff to give away. But yeah, I just thought it'd make it a little bit of fun. And we also did an event a little while ago in Sydney, and my first customer of the day actually brought a giant cookie and told me it was magic, like a magic beans from Jack and the Beanstalk, and asked what I'd trade for it.
Wow.
And that cookie ended up coming back to me at the end of the day. And I saw that kid walking out with a giant Masters of the Universe figure, and I started calling it the Saga of the Magic Cookie, and I thought, you know, what would be cool to do, you know, to encourage people to have that fun trading and just, you know, have a bit of fun bartering.
Yeah, that's great.
And so, yeah, we issued the challenge, and yeah, a bit of a glove slap to anyone out there. Get down here, turn maybe a little Pokemon card or a little figure into something big and impressive.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just thought it'd be something fun to do, and it will kind of adds that extra element to this event that some of the other events don't have. You know, that element where people can bring their collection. There are traders here who are buying, they're swapping, they're selling.
Now, I really like promoting events like this for Canberra. Canberra needs more stuff like this. And I really love what you and Dan are doing.
Yes.
Like you're physically promoting Canberra.
Yes. And we love Canberra. We love our hobbies, we love our passion, and it's just about, bringing those two things together, bringing more of this sort of stuff to Canberra. And if other people aren't going to bring this sort of stuff to Canberra, we're going to make it happen in Canberra ourselves. Good. Yeah.
All right, one more question. Now, as a vintage toy guy, it quietly kills me inside a little bit seeing, you know, Pokemon everywhere. Pokemon cards. And I know you're a comic guy. How does this feel for you?
Yeah, well...
And especially as a promoter, you can give me a nice positive message if you need to.
It's one of those things, you know, like these types of events are about people like embracing, you know, the thing they love, their fandom, and their passion for their collection. And the thing with the collectibles market, it's always up and down, it's always changing. So at the moment, Pokemon and just cards in general are really crazy popular. And so a lot of our vendors, you know, they realise this, and, you know, if you dabbled in cards 6 months ago, you've got a much wider range now. And so, you know, it just, It is what it is, you know. The trends sort of dictate what a lot of us sort of move into when it comes to vending. But I think part of it is just cards are like really popular at the moment because there's the playability aspect, then there's the collectability aspect. But there's also all ages access. Yeah. So you'll find with comics, there's comics for kids, but then there's comics for mature readers, and then you find with collectibles too, just price essentially sets and a bit of a like a bit of a bar for kids, you know, like if a collectible's $600, a 10-year-old can't afford it.
That's right.
Yeah, so I think cards kind of represent a collectible and sort of like a passion that people can really get into regardless of whether they're into anime or sports or whether they like to play a game like Pokemon or whether they just really like the art. It has a really big kind of demographic that it really appeals to. Whereas, you know, comics can have a sort of a narrower demographic. Yeah. Things like the Marvel movies make that demographic bigger, but it's always shifting. And I'm just excited to see so many people excited about, you know, improving their collections, starting their collections, or just, you know, coming to show off what they've picked up.
We only come to see you, Brendan.
Yeah, I know. And, like, let's face it, I only come here to see me too.
Brendan, thank you so much. Big thanks to the little guy there, Dan. He's in the window there. You can't see him too well. But thank you so much for organising this event, and we'll look forward to future events.
Yeah, excellent.
Thanks very much.
No worries, Lenny.
you.